Ladies and gentlemen, the following podcast is brought to you by Dead City Productions.
Hello everyone and welcome to Talkin Anime! Hit the theme music! Konnichiwa, everybody! Welcome to another exciting episode of Talkin Anime, everybody. I hope you're excited for this one like I am. We are on episode 4, everybody. I hope you liked episode 2 where I talked about my favorite anime of all time, Dragon Ball Z. I hope you enjoyed the hentai episode. I know that was a little different, but this is where the fun begins, guys, because these next 3 episodes dropping, episode 4, 5, and 6, are super awesome. Episode 6 is actually going to be probably my favorite episode to date because of a future episode of something I like talking about, overpowered characters. But I will not be alone. That's right, guys. I will be having some special guests on episode 6. You will have to wait on my social medias. Link in the description of the video. Link in the description of the podcast to find out when I announce who the special guest is going to be. Anyways, guys, today's episode is all about one of my favorite genres. This episode and the next episode are going to be my 2 favorite genres of all time in anime. And today's episode is featured of Isekai anime. First and foremost, before we get way into the conversation of Isekais, gonna throw to you the commercial. Goodbye. I will see you guys when I'm back. Bye-bye. Hey guys, it's Mitch. Konnichiwa. I hope you guys have been enjoying the episode so far. But I'm here to talk to you guys about... That's weird. I wasn't expecting anybody. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. Hey, man. What are you doing? Hey, no! Put that down. Put that down. Hey, come on, man. Don't put that...
Ha ha ha! Take that! Hello everyone, my name is Peppy and I'm here to talk to you about Anchor.fm, the only website to upload podcasts to all your favorite platforms for free. Yeah, free. Now how you say platforms? Dollars? All you got to do is go record on one of their websites using their programming and a mic of your choice, or upload the podcast through their own upload tool. That's all you need. Want to get paid for doing podcasts? Well, set yourself up with the monetization and boom, you get paid. Now get off your butt after listening to this episode, of course, and get recording. Au revoir, mademoiselle.
What the hell, man? Yeah, everyone, I guess what he said? Ow, fuck, my head hurts. Alright, everybody, back to Talkin Anime. Okay, everybody, I hope you enjoyed another lovely commercial. That is probably my favorite commercial I have recorded right now, because I put a lot more editing into it than I did my last one. And I think it's pretty fun because I get to, talk with a little bit of a Francais accent. You know what I mean? And I get to pitch the voice just a little bit high. And then that's how you get the voice of Peppy. Anyways, guys, today's episode is about Isekais, which is probably one of my most favorite styles of anime. So I'm going to tell you guys what an Isekai is. Okay, guys, Isekai, Japanese translate for different world. It's a genre of anime, light novel, manga, video games from Japan that revolve around a normal person from Earth being transported to, reborn, or trapped in a parallel universe, fantasy world, or virtual world. Often the protagonist is already familiar with the parallel world, as it is often a fictional universe from a fictitious world published by protagonist's origin universe. But the parallel world may also be unknown to them, as in the case of Sonic X. Now, what that basically means is that your character is pulled from their world and brought into a new world. It can either be a video game, like a lot of the isekais, or it's just a parallel universe, or it's just a, fantasy world. So some isekais that are there is like Konosuba. I think another one, Sword Art Online, Spirit Away, Poppin' Q, ReZero, World Trigger, Gates, No Game, No Life, The Beast and the Boy, Log Horizon, Restaurant to Another World, Drifters. That is just a couple ones that are out there. There's some people that will call or sometimes consider something like Inuyasha, for example, as a isekai, which it's an isekai in the form of she's just Kagome is brought from her world and dropped into a parallel world or a world back in time. That a lot of people consider it an isekai. I'm one of those people that consider it an isekai, but I'm not gonna sit here and say, "Oh, well, it's an isekai, bro. So you gotta sit and fucking enjoy it." No, it's got isekai just for the fact that she's dropped into another world. Some people argue that it has to be an isekai if they're trapped in another world. Again, all of this is up to the person who's watching the anime, whatever. That's usually how these people do stuff like that. Like I said, whatever. Okay, so how I got into isekais. This is a pretty interesting story. So, growing up, I always watched Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon, Digimon, which is actually an isekai. I didn't know it was an isekai at the time. So, I grew up watching Dragon Ball, Pokemon, Digimon. I watched those ones growing up. Then I got into Yu-Gi-Oh! And a bunch of other shows in between. But I never knew genres. So, few years forward, started watching more animes like Death Note. Watched a little bit of Inuyasha, not a lot. Watched Naruto. A couple more animes, and then come to meeting my wife, dating my wife, getting married and stuff. Let's fast forward a little bit more, watching some animes on Netflix. And at the time, animes on Netflix weren't like as huge as they are now. A few months ago, me and my wife, we go and I decided that I wanted to get Funimation for streaming services. So I'm like, yeah, let's get Funimation. I think it'd be pretty fun for us just to sit and watch, animes. And we've been watching animes like ever since. And this was like right around the time I went to quarantine back in April. So we would literally sit and watch animes all day. And we binged a lot. I mean, a lot of animes. And one of the ones that I really got into was How Not to Summon a Demon Lord, which was the first anime I watched going on to Funimation. Now, what that story is essentially your character is pulled from their world and brought into this world, and he's trapped. And the character is used to this world because he believes the entire time he's in a video game, because he's inside the body of his avatar that he plays in the game Diablo. And he's also a demon lord. He's like super overpowered. That was one of the animes that I got into. The other one was Sword Art Online. Now, The thing about Sword Art Online is that it is strongly divided between the people who like it and the people that don't like it. There's people that liked season 1, hated season 2. People that hated season 1 liked season 2. I am one of those people that I really liked season 1. I liked the first season when they were trapped in the world, because that is technically an isekai. They're trapped in that world. Now, second story, when they're playing as elves, they can go in and out of those games. It's not really an isekai, except for Kirito's girlfriend, who is trapped in this world. That is an isekai. And then you got your Gun Gale, which I wasn't like a huge fan of. When I watch animes, I'm more of a fan of like swords and magic, so that's why I enjoyed watching something like Demon Lord or something like Sword Art Online. So I got into those ones. I'm starting to watch Konosuba now. I'm actually like 2 episodes in on it. I'm slowly getting through it. After I'm done recording these episodes, I'm probably going to go and watch it. The funny part is I'm recording these on a separate day than what I normally do, because I normally record these episodes on Sundays. But because the Sunday that I'm recording these episodes, I'm recording episode 6, and I didn't want to have to record these on a different date or whatever. I wanted to make sure I had my episodes out on time. It's not a big deal. I could have recorded these next weekend because episode 3 is already in the queue at the time I'm recording these. So I'm like, I might as well do this. I got some downtime. I'm waiting for Predator to update. So I'm like, well, I might as well talk more isekais. So yeah, I'm really into watching more isekais. Me and my wife, we started watching Isekai Cheat Magician, which is actually a pretty good one. Again, that's another character with a trope. I will go into tropes in a little bit on like tropes of like an isekai trope. Your characters are brought into their world, fighting, end of the world. Ragnarok was another one. Masters of Ragnarok was another good one I watched. That one's good if you're a fan of like things more surrounding like a lot of the names are a lot more like Norse mythology. It's more Norse heavy than it is Japanese themed. The normal world is Japanese, yes, but the world that the story takes place in, like where your main character is, it's all like Norse mythology themed. And that's a really good one. And then there's like the Isekai Quartet. I haven't watched it yet, but I plan on watching it soon. I'm watching Konosuba. I want to watch No Game No Life. Like, I have a list of animes that I want to actually sit and watch that fall under the Isekai banner. Now, tropes in Isekai. Now, this is actually pretty interesting because this is a very huge trope in Isekai. Is that the character is male or female, is dropped into this world. Now, they are usually familiar with it because they're either a game tester or they're a person who has no life and they play video games all the time, which is what your character in Konosuba, your character in How Not to Summon a Demon Lord, and Sword Art Online. Those 3 examples are characters that played games and that are dropped into the game world in a way. Now, your other tropes usually follow that your main character is overpowered as hell. And it's overpowered to the sense that it kind of makes the show kind of like, oh, they're going to fight. He's going to use his one big move. Boom, boom, boom. Done. That is very normal isekai trope. And I'm fine with that. Like, I don't mind it, but it does get repetitive, especially when it's something like Kirito and Sword Art Online. You only need to watch like 1 episode to know what's going on because he appears. He's going to do this. Oh, he won. Moving on. Again, it's hard to watch a show where the character starts off overpowered. How Not to Summon a Demon Lord, it's the same way. Diablo. He goes and fights. He wipes out armies. Like it's nothing. He fights a monster that is supposed to be like a super rare summoning. And he has struggles with it first. but then completely wipes it out the minute he has a soundproof strategy. And it's just like boom, 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 done. And this enemy that he fights is supposed to be a super high rank summoning. And he beats it like it's nothing. And it gets to the point that Diablo is so overpowered in how not to summon a Demon Lord that he has to go and buy a weak weapon so he doesn't this. And now another thing that an Isekai is following is sometimes, usually, a harem gets involved. So what a harem is when your main character starts collecting women. I don't want to say that because it kind of sounds kind of gross, but essentially what it is, it's a character, your main character gets women to fall in love with him or they like him, whatever. There's a lot of animes that have that trope in it, but isekais are like notorious for having harems. And How Not to Summon a Demon Lord gets that way too. And then I don't know about Konosuba because I'm not too far into Konosuba. Sword Art Online, you don't really get a harem out of that one. And yeah, like I said, like out of those three that I am aware of that have harems, like How Not to Summon a Demon Lord has it, but it's because How Not to Summon a Demon Lord is kind of supposed to be a parody of ways. It's not a parody as in what Konosuba is, because Konosuba is supposed to be 100% a parody of isekais. What How to Summon a Demon Lord is that it is your character is overpowered from the beginning, making fun of that trope, and then you have he has these two girls following around that are technically his slaves. Sorry, that's like first episode. You kind of learn that, and so forth and so forth. And it's the same with like Overly Cautious Hero. The thing with Overly Cautious Hero though is that the character doesn't go into a battle without stocking up on everything. Like he goes and buys armor. He buys 3 sets of armor, 1 to wear, 2 for backup. That's the joke of that, is that the character is overly cautious. He goes and fights a slime. These are like first episode, second episode territories, so spoilers, yes. What he does is he goes and fights a slime. And a slime in all like our JRPGs, slimes are like level 1 territory. It's super easy to kill. He's just sitting there and he's nuking this damn thing. Just nuking it with like over and over again for like 3 solid minutes of this and of the episode. Just nuke. And she's telling him, you don't need to keep doing it. Nuke. I think he's dead. Nuke. Funny. I thought it was funny. I was actually splitting ends on that. I thought it was hilarious. But then you have like other animes like Slime. That time I got reincarnated as a slime. That's another one where your character's like super overpowered. And that's because he dies. When he's dying, he says that he doesn't want to ever be like, he wants to be impervious to damage, yada yada yada. He becomes a slime. Well, he gets the ability or this skill called Predator, and what that does is that whenever he absorbs something, he essentially gets the skills. And there's like one episode is basically him doing a montage of absorbing all these things and getting all these really strong attacks and making himself super overpowered. But again, though, it comes with, well, this is what he does. This is his thing. He's a slime. It gets pretty funny. Now, another anime that's like that is Bow Fury. I maxed up my I don't want to get hurt, so I maxed up my defense. Now, this anime is pretty funny because your character is overpowered, yes, but she's not overpowered in the I'm going to hit you with one big attack, you're dead kind of overpowered. She's very much like, I'm maxed up, like the title says. I don't want to get hurt, so I maxed up my defense. She literally makes a character where her defense stat is her strongest stat. She doesn't level anything else up. She just keeps putting points into into defense. And that's cool. That's a different spin on like your character's overpowered because they do one attack, you're dead. You know, she's like, you can keep hitting me, but my health isn't going to go down unless I fight a character who's like super strong. And that's a nice spin to it, but it gets old very quickly. And how do you counteract that kind of situation? Well, Maple is her name. We're going to drop her into these scenarios she somehow gets herself into, and she just eats everything. Like the first 2 episodes, she learns that if she eats something, she can get the ability of it. And then she also realized that if she's attacked enough times by a certain something, she gets an ability from it. Well, she eats stuff and gets powers. Or she takes enough damage from something, she gets like resistance and stuff like that. She got stung by a bunch of bees, got poison resistance, stuff like that, you know? And like that's a nice spin on a isekai. Of course, she's not trapped in the world, but she's teleported into a virtual game, so it's technically an isekai. And then the only reason why she gets overpowered near the end is because she's literally somehow stumbles across these missions, and she has all these items that when she does a mission, it's like, oh, well, I need you to do this. And it stops, and then it finishes because she already had that item from before. Or she fights an enemy, gets that enemy's big attack, right? That was like how you get Maple overpowered, but not overpowered in the sense of her attack is like stupid high. It's just her defense is stupid high, you know? And like I said, that's a nice way of doing something different for the isekai genre as a whole than compared to like someone like Kirito. He comes, he does like some weird attack, wipes out his enemies like it's literally nothing. And again, I like isekais simply for the fact that it's an escape. Like all animes in general, it's an escape from everything else, right? Like if you watch anime to avoid watching real world television, it's because real world television has nothing worth watching about anymore. I mean, like, yeah, there's like your HBO Go, HBO Max, and all these other shows that have like Underwood, all these other like highly appraised scripted shows. But guess what? Hollywood also has like Kim Kardashian as a judge, America's Got Talent, The Voice. I think X Factor is still a thing. I don't know. I honestly haven't watched real TV in like forever. Ever since I got satellite, I've been watching, or ever since I got internet, and I got better internet now, I can just sit and watch Netflix, Funimation, Crunchyroll, so forth and so forth. So it's funny sitting here talking about isekais because it is a genre where it's your character's being put into another world. And I often sit here and think to myself, if I was isekai'd into a world, what anime universe would I like to be isekai'd into? Well, that is actually a pretty good conversation piece because I've asked that question before to the Anime Summit podcast. Hey guys, if you're watching or listening to this, wouldn't mind coming on for an episode. But anyways, the funny part about that conversation is that people usually go to the animes like Pokemon and everything else. So I've sat and I pondered, thought about like what animes would I want to be involved in the world of isekais, or in an anime universe, whatever as it is. And like I said, I often sit and I ponder, and I'm like, well, honestly, what worlds would I like to be in? And I honestly would love to be in the world of Dragon Ball Z. And again, this is funny because I keep saying that Dragon Ball Z is my favorite anime, which it is, and it always will be. I just love that there's so much of the world that is like so technologically advanced, yet there's still sections that aren't. And then, of course, you get like cool like blast moves from your hands, and you get to do like transformations and stuff. Like, who wouldn't want to be in a world like that? Yeah, I get people saying Pokemon. Oh, because there's no real danger in Pokemon. You're just battling Pokemon or Digimon. It's the same thing. I find that Dragon Ball Z would be a fun world to be in just for the fact that I could learn, hey, Kamehameha, or hey, Destructo Disc, hey, Wolf Fang Fist, stuff like that. And that's why I would love to have this show. I would love to be on that show in general. I would love to be on the Dragon Ball universe as a whole. Because I think it would be really cool to go like Super Saiyan during a fight and be like, I'm strong, Super Saiyan, fight, And the fights, like even learning how to fly and then fighting as faster than the human eye can follow. Hence the reason why a lot of like Dragon Ball Z is like in a short period of time. I think it would be awesome. Yeah, sure, there's danger, but there's almost danger in every good anime world, every good shonen world. There's people that be like, well, if I was in Isekai, I would like to be in fruit baskets. Where's the fun in that? I've never watched Fruit Baskets, so I have no idea what that show is. But there's also people that are like, I would like to be in Pokemon. I would too. It'd be cool to have like a little Pokemon that I have battle for me, but still, it's like, why? Why do that when you can be like the most powerful being on Earth because I can transform into Super Saiyan or whatever. Even My Hero Academia would be pretty cool. Like even thrown into that world, like you learn how to do a quirk. You have a quirk. I could sit there and be like, oh well, if I had a quirk, it'd be I can turn invisible, or I could switch bodies with someone. I think that would be cool, being able to switch bodies with someone, but there has to be a limitation to it. So, I can switch bodies with a person for as long as I can hold my breath, or I can switch places with someone for like 20 minutes or an hour, stuff like that. That'd be cool. Or, I have super strength. Well, what's the limitation? Well, I have super strength. I'm not invincible, stuff like that. Just something like that would be cool. Like in a world where you get a power, like in a well-structured power, or like being in a world with a well-structured power source too. Like even Hunter x Hunter would be pretty cool. Just learning how to master Nen and being able to use like Nen powers and stuff like that. That would even be cool. I would love to actually have that power too. Be like Killua and have like Godspeed and other electric attacks, stuff like that. That would be cool. Or Kurapika and be able to be like the strongest Nen user ever, but I can only use my powers when I'm doing this or this. Or being Naruto and be like, I can use ninjutsu and all this, but I have a very small power supply. Again, guys, it is up to you. This is my question to you guys. Go on to social media, use the hashtag Talkin Anime, the name of the show, and tell me what anime you would like to be isekai'd in. And if I get enough of them, maybe in a future episode, I will talk about it. And then, maybe in a future episode, if it's good enough, maybe I'll have you come on. You can do like hey, this is the world I would love to be isekai'd into. But social media, use the hashtag Talkin Anime. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I had a lot of fun recording it. I hope you have fun listening to it. God, I'm super stoked for episode 6. So, guys, leave me a 5-star review on Apple or anywhere that lets you do reviews. If you have a subject you want me to talk about, email me at mitchlovesanime94@gmail.com. In between time, guys, go Plus Ultra! Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Talking Anime. If you like the theme song, link in the description of this podcast and video. And all my socials linked in the bottom. I'll see you guys next episode. Bye.